So, it's ridiculously early in the morning. I've just returned from work to find a package waiting for me, which means it's time for another riveting edition of my most unwatched show on YouTube, What's in the Fucking Box? Bag. This one comes from longtime friend and longtime supporter of this channel, Eli Studer, who I believe is actually the first ever package I received to do this show. I decided anybody that sent me any sort of care package or gift or whatever the fuck, I would open it and display it for the world to see, and whatever the reaction is to it, to whatever's in it, would be genuine. So let's continue honoring that tradition with the man that brought us this tradition. And what a man he is. I mean, this guy is a fucking stud. Should call him Eli Stutter. Eli... That just sounds like he talks weird. Studer is fine. Studer for Studer Duder. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and open this thing, okay? I'm sorry. I'm so Alright, so as I sit here, disheveled, underslept, kind of miserable from my night at work, let's see if what's in the fucking box improves that mood. It improved the mood. Motherfucker got me a Sister shirt. The band that planted the seeds for what would eventually become my favorite band of all time, Wasp. And of course features the pentagram that would later be used in Motley Crue. Lots of ties with both Wasp and Motley Crue with Sister, many of which the original ideas came from old Blackie Lawless himself. Not a lot of people know that. And of course they omitted that from that Dirt movie. I think it's in the book, but they decided not to put any of Blackie's influence in the film because I think Nikki Sixx is a bit scared of his big dick energy. I'm sorry, big saw blade energy. Legit though, Eli, my man, you've outdone yourself once again. I fucking love this thing. I also don't own enough like baseball tees. I've only got like a number. There's that great Canon one that was presented to me by the Horror Mom, so now I get to mix things up a little bit with one of my favorite film distribution companies in the world and part of the history that is one of my favorite fucking bands ever. And for those of you curious about where this is from, you can get it over on TeePublic. I'm just going to show a bit of it because there's an address on the other part of the sheet. But if you want to get yourself a Sister shirt, TeePublic is one of the places you can go to get it. Pah! Looks quite fucking dashing on me, I must say. Spiffy duds, dude. While I've got you guys in earshot, I thought I would also do a little surprise review in this video, in this unboxing video. Yeah, you're getting a twofer. See, I watch a lot of movies on Tubi TV. I've been doing that a lot lately since, well, not lately, probably like the last year and a half, I don't know, the time just fucking flies by. But Tubi is an excellent source of underrated films, cult films, new releases that are a little bit harder to see, usually like direct-to-VOD stuff. It is a free and seemingly legal service because they're allowed to run ads. I think that's how they make it a free thing. It's almost like cable or something. But I often find movies that I find kind of fascinatingly odd or terrible, or odd and terrible. Like, I'm sure you guys remember my review of The Zombie King, which was that weird Corey Feldman and Edward Furlong zombie flick that was also sort of a zombie parody, like in the ilk of Shaun of the Dead, but just failed miserably at actually being funny. But the Edward Furlong bits were actually quite good. So I thought it might be fun to do another I saw this on Tubi and I just really needed to talk about it. This is one I saw maybe a month or two ago. It's called Cry Havoc. It is from director and writer Rennie Perez, who's been doing all those like weird Charles Bronson exploitation movies. The actor, I believe, is like he goes by Robert Bronzy, and he's been appearing in these Charles Bronson ripoff movies because he looks exactly like Charles Bronson. I don't know if he got like plastic surgery or some shit, or if he just miraculously looks like Bronson, but he's been capitalizing on that and making Charles Bronson-style movies, the most notorious of which was Death Kiss, which, something interesting to be said about that one is it also co-stars Richard Tyson as the big bad of the film. Now, Richard Tyson, if you don't remember, was the creepy father from Kindergarten Cop and the excellent bully character in the really underrated high school comedy drama 3 O'Clock High, which I definitely need to cover on here at some point. It's got one of my favorite Tangerine Dream soundtracks ever, and Tyson is just fucking awesome in the movie. Like, he's such a presence, he's such a mood. You even kind of fucking root for him because he's just cooler than everybody in the movie. He also, of course, looks way fucking too old to be going to high school, but then again, it's an 80s movie. Every teenager was fucking 20 to 30 years old. So what the shit is Cry Havoc? Well, this is a unique one because, and I didn't know this until a couple minutes ago before I started actually filming, is that this was part of a series that Rene Perez was already working on. There was this character, Havoc, who's like this Jason Voorhees slasher type character, and there were other films of his that had come out before this, back in like 2014 to 2016, and now it's like this whole Robert Bronzy, Charles Bronson ripoff thing is going. So Perez decided to mesh the two together into this like weird death game movie where Bronzy is playing a guy who's looking for his missing daughter and tracks her to this compound, which is basically like a snuff film hunting ground where Richard Tyson has the control of this Havoc killer guy. And they have this like weird symbiotic bond because they met in prison or some shit. It's fucking weird. It's right out of like late 80s, early 90s WWF, like fucking Kane versus Undertaker, Paul Bearer shit. It's fucking bizarre. The killer looks like some reject out of that Dead by Daylight game. He brandishes weapons that look like they were literally bought from A Spirit of Halloween. The mask looks like it probably was too, with a bunch of weird fucking barbed wire shit added to it. It's just a mess, and it's a very obvious Jason knockoff. But the surprising part about this is, and it's surprising to me because I haven't really been enjoying these Robert Bronzy films. They've, especially Death Kiss, felt very flat for me. But I think the very concept of the whole idea of this movie being, if you took the vigilante subgenre, the Death Wish, Charles Bronson shit, and meshed it with a slasher, and had the two come head to head in a fucking bare-knuckle brawl at the end, is fascinating to me. It's very Bruno Mattei. It's a very Claudio Fragasso kind of thing of taking these different subgenres and mashing them into each other. And of course, Richard Tyson, as always. I mean, he stole the show in Death Kiss, even if I didn't really like that one too much. And much like then, he stole the show here as he fancies himself like an artist, like he's out here making like next level movies. He's actually reminds me of a character from a movie I just recently covered.
I'm directing this fucking movie! I'm directing this fucking movie, you son of a bitch!
That's right, Richard Tyson basically plays a Terry Hawkins. The way Bronzy tracks him down is following a reporter who ends up at the compound to do an interview with Tyson's character, and of course that ends up being a trap to get her to end up being in one of the snuff films. But now, fake Bronson is on the scene, and he's gonna fucking shake shit up, and boy, does he. There's a lot of asses getting kicked in this movie. A lot of ass kicking. Yeah. Pure gratuity. Some decent gore, too. Havoc, like, fucking... The only way I could describe is he Victor Crowley's a guy. He just fucking rips a dude's head in half, and it's honestly kind of awesome. But yeah, if that shit even mildly interested you, it's up on Tubi TV, and it's fucking hilarious. And to me, it's the definition of a so bad it's good movie. And I know that there's a certain Grimmy boy that does not agree with me on that term, but I say it's a real thing. I say that you can still objectively think that something is poorly made and still enjoy it. And plus, art is subjective at the end of the day anyway. There could be something that's like amazing. Like, I know there are people that like Blade Runner to me is objectively something that's like a genuinely well-made movie. And fine, like you can not like it. There are tons of people who don't like films that are considered, you know, classics and icons of cinema history. But there are people that will straight up be like, this shit looks fake. It's like, fuck you. But I think that's the whole point that I'm making here, is that it doesn't matter the quality of the movie, the quality of the production, the talent of the actors, the talent of the writing. It's going to be someone out there with an opinion. And in my opinion, something can be so bad that it's good. And to some people, something can be so great, and they'll still look at it like it's a fucking dog turd.